don't have a lot of time these days to answer DMs, but every once in a while, one comes along that deserves a response. And this is one I received not too long ago. And the reason why I'm going to answer it publicly is because I think it has relevance for so many of us who are deconstructing from Christianity. Because I'm going to be very blunt with something. People deconstruct to their comfort level, but oftentimes do not deconstruct or decolonize from the racism, the supremacy, the biases, the prejudices, the misogyny, the internalized misogyny, certainly still hold on to patriarchy that gives them this sense of entitlement for how they view the world. That's the reason why I'm going to answer this DM, because I think there's many of you out there that needs to hear my response. Out of respect for their identity, I'm only going to use their first name, but here is the DM that I received. It's from Brandon. I'm a bisexual veteran, and I have some things to say to you and some questions to ask. I would appreciate it very much if you could read what I have to say, answer the questions, and then give me any input you might have. Number one, lefties are literally destroying the birth rate, which means they will destroy women's rights because the Muslims are going to outnumber us by the year 2060. What do you think that means for us? Number two, considering the subject nature of a rainbow flag, whenever it's flown in public, I think it should be a criminal offense. And someone should be put in jail for corruption of minors simply because it's a known fact that children are impressionable. Why do you think it's okay to work in the church and wear a rainbow flag? Why do you think it's okay for you to teach the gospel? As I said, there's a lot going on in this message. And what I see in this message is a lot of fear and a lot of indoctrination. A lot of indoctrination that has been taught and weaponized, and Brandon has certainly internalized. And what we know is fear isn't truth, but when we hold on to it, we hold on to those beliefs that are actually harming us. But when we let these indoctrinated beliefs guide us, we end up defending systems that actually harm us. And Brandon is asking me to explain to him all the different teachings of Christianity that keep us divided from other people, from other beliefs, basically from people who don't look like, love like, or believe as we do. And what I find fascinating is that Brandon sees himself separate from some of these identities. And especially for what's happening in our country right now, when veterans' benefits and rights are being stripped away, the LGBTQIA plus community is terrified. Somehow, Brandon doesn't think that applies to Brandon. This is a classic example of how fear-based ideologies harms the indoctrinated. And I just want to ask Brandon, how do holding on to these fears serve you? How do they make you a better person? How is someone existing as themselves a threat to you? How is that helping you build a better world? How is that helping you be a kinder person? Now, I break down every one of Brandon's questions and his assertions in his DM. You can find it over on my Substack. And Brandon, if you're listening, I hope someday that you don't look through the fear that has been instilled inside you. And instead, you see people as they really are, who just want to exist in the world with basic human rights. And you stop seeing them as a threat. And you might see the pride flag as a beacon of belonging and hope.